Something is wrong on this street, Penn Road, where I live. Something is wrong here in this community.
It's killing people, just like it killed my daughter.
I live on Penn Road. People call me Mr. Bowie because I'm a minister. I pastored church for 22 years in this area. I'm a reserve deputy sheriff, and I'm a senior citizen. This house is Mr. Warfield Gibbs. His wife, Bobby Sue Gibbs, passed away with multi-cancers a few years ago.
I have to do this 3 to 4 times a day.
This house here belongs to Mr. George Parker and it's Miss Ollie Parker. Both of them was taken out by cancer.
My husband died of lung cancer, and I am having breathing problems.
Mr. Tom Perkins and his wife, they live here. Mr. Tom Perkins is deceased now. He had multi-cancers. We have 15 homes in this area, and maybe 11 people has died or more with cancer, and that's unreal.
What's going on here is a crime.
It's just a waste. My daughter Letitia died at 43. She grew up in the neighborhood. She had a husband, a devoted husband. She had children that she really and truly loved, and I think that she died too young. She was a non-smoker. She was not a drinker, and she got lung cancer. And you know, you'll wonder where did it come from?
These people are sick, they're dying. This is inexcusable. That's murderous.
Good to see you again.
When I met Mr. Bowie, I could not believe what was going on in this neighborhood.
I think it has to do with our environment, what we smell, what we inhale. We were deer hunting in the back, and we noticed that there was such a strong odor back there.
The smell was so strong and so bad. It was awful. I started noticing in my river these sheets of black coming downstream. The color's different, the smell is different, the whole river is different.
It's rough. Whatever's in it is killing these trees.
They have cut this huge channel, and it's like an open sewer line.
This is where the smell is coming from. You can see the steam coming from this stuff. And at times it gets so bad, it's like a big cloud. And it gets up in the warm air, and it flows right over the trees where our property is.
It is our mission to find out what it is, who's behind it, and how to stop it.
It causes the throat to be sore, eyes to hurt, nose, and it's harsh to breathe in.
The first time that I came here, I saw the color of the water. It was like an epiphany. This right here, this private property, but if you could follow it in a straight line, you would be at Georgia Pacific's plant owned by Koch Industries.
It's pitiful that Koch allowed this kind of a stuff to be just dumped in the wide open like this.
Once I saw this, I knew Koch Industries were the culprits. They know that these people are sick.
Koch Industries, Georgia Pacific, they employ thousands of people here in Crossett. And it's hard to come up against a company that employs so many people.
The neighborhood of Penn Row is at ground zero. Right through these woods are these ditches carrying these various types of pollutions from the Georgia Pacific plant.
And that industrial process includes the use and discharges to the air and into the water of a lot of nasty chemicals. The Georgia Pacific complex in West Crossett releases millions of gallons a day of wastewater into a whole series of ditches where the water is allowed to percolate. One might characterize these exposures as a ticking time bomb to the people's health that are breathing the air that's flowing from these open ditches.
It's such a hard battle that these people have here. They don't have money, and their state representatives are all influenced by the Koch brothers and this whole system they have put together to be able to do whatever they want to.
The Senate will come to order.
The Koch brothers basically fight an anti-environmental Congress that has single-handedly tried to eviscerate and gut environmental regulation across the board.
I'm proud of the work Koch Industries brings to my district.
It's cheap at the price. It's certainly a lot less expensive than actually having to retrofit factories.
The EPA will have doors locked and the lights turned off.
Koch Industries not only manipulates the political process, but more importantly to me is they manipulate the public into believing that the EPA is killing jobs.
The EPA is intent on taking matters into their own hands, which will result in a bleeding of jobs.
It is a problem when politicians are calling EPA and saying leave them alone, rather than calling them and saying do your job and clean it up.
Workers in my state don't want to see the lost jobs that EPA's big government takeover would bring.
Koch is using natural streams to transport waste, and this is not allowed by the Clean Water Act. And they can do it because EPA lets them do it.
Koch Industries are repeat offenders of environmental crimes.
Koch Industries is one of the primary sources of pollution in the United States.
They have a history of serious and even criminal pollution problems.
Koch Industries subsidiaries have paid millions in environmental fines.
The Koch brothers are trying to stop the government from limiting greenhouse gas emissions.
Government regulators have fined Koch Industries and its subsidiaries tens of millions for oil spills and pollution over the years.
In 2000, a federal grand jury returned a 97-count indictment against Koch Industries in Corpus Christi, Texas. They were charged not only with emitting more benzene than they were allowed to, they tried to cover it up.
Benzene is a known human carcinogen. People that are breathing benzene have increased risk of developing cancer. That's known. It's not suspected, it is known.
But the Bush administration worked with Koch to come up with a plea bargain. So it went from 97-count indictment to 1 count, the potential of $350 million to just $20 million fine. As an environmental criminologist, watching this case evolve makes me sick. They know they can get away with it. They'll just wait and be fined if they ever get caught, which in most cases they won't ever be caught because the EPA is understaffed and underfunded.
The Koch brothers care more for the income than they do their neighbors, and people are constantly dying.
It's just called cheap and not caring about people or rivers or the environment or anyone but their bottom line.
David Koch, he can stop this, just as he donates millions of dollars to try to find a cure for cancer.
It began 16 years ago when I discovered that I had prostate cancer and that I had not long to live.
What kind of man is David if he has cancer and put all his money into research and then he's dumping in our backyard?
Today my cancer is very much under control, and my doctor advises me that I have many more years to live.
He was able to buy good medicine, to see the best doctors.
The fact that this magnificent research facility has been named after me is probably the greatest honor I've ever been awarded.
With David Koch, knowing that he has been right there where we, the people of this community, are now. And when you look around you and see people dying every day, then that's shocking to us.
I've lived here for 39 years. My husband died of lung cancer, and I am having breathing problems, and I feel that I might eventually have lung problems.
The Koch brothers, I'm reaching out, hoping and asking them to fix this problem because we need help here.
In the Old West, they called it being outgunned. They're outgunned by the Koch brothers. So I feel like their only hope is to make people realize what's happening here.
If I could talk to Koch brothers face to face, I just really believe them dying now, you know, just a slow death what it is.
The Koch brothers are killing me and my family.
I feel that Georgia Pacific and Koch is responsible for my daughter's death.
This is inexcusable, and something's got to be done about it. These people don't stand a chance.